G'day listeners, welcome to Barkarati, the sailing podcast. My name's Jordan Spencer. It's that time of the week where we get to hang out with some really cool sailors, but of course I have to share the microphone duties with my two idiot mates. So first off, let's welcome Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, exalted one.
BP.
Good evening. Well, it's not really that time of the week. It's sort of mid-week-ish sort of thing, but you got me mid-barbecue.
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 Yep.
So
nice.
It's Boxing Day here in Australia. It's the Ashes cricket. It's the Sydney to Hobart yacht race. So what you just live for it, don't you?
Yeah, we do. And of course our mate going south to Hobart, or is he?
Or is he?
Is he? Let's just see if he's there.
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
Mr. Nick Bice, are you there?
I'm here.
Bicey, you're supposed to be on a boat heading south.
I was saying to you blokes during the week, it's getting closer. The Rona, she's coming in due to hearing a few different positive cases out of Sail GP, out of a few of the different boats competing in the race, and starting to hear a few names that you know that have got it. And I've got it. I've got the Rona.
Oh, mate, I feel for you.
Positive.
We're worried.
So, I mean, it was pretty tricky to harangue the and manipulate the positive test due to the southerly buster that was coming in. But
and also your in-laws at home apparently.
But I managed to do it. Yeah, they're there till the 8th, so I've got to isolate now for 21 days
in another state.
In another state. No, so
wow.
December the 23rd from 1 p.m. they were doing the PCR tests at the Cruising Yacht Club South Australia, of which I've heard cost a hefty amount of money to make that happen.
Yep.
With it was meant to have a quick turnaround because they're doing 160,000 tests a day here at the moment. So yeah, got in the early lineup, got tested with all my crewmates along with everyone else standing in. There would have been 500 people in the lineup.
Wow.
And we're all just, high-fiving each other, doing all that sort of Australian stuff. A bit of a dry rope, bit of a pash while we're waiting and stuff. But so speak of a
tap on the butt.
Speak of a super spreader. And then 10 a.m. on the 24th, positive test along with 3 of my crewmates.
Jeez. How did you feel when you saw a positive test? Did you get a little nervous?
No, I knew I had it.
You knew you had it?
Yeah,
wow.
Pretty sure.
Wow.
Probably, I wouldn't say 24 hours beforehand, but just started getting a little scratchy throat. Could have written it off to just being a bit run down, having been sailing it every single day. But just hearing and seeing what's going on. And we were super safe. We literally went from the boat to the apartment every day.
Yep.
Did not go in any social setting at all. Unusual, I know. I hear you say.
Yes.
Nice. What? Cruising Yacht Club of Australia.
It's
anyway.
Bloody sad. 2 years in a row for you. Oh, what a pity. What a downer.
Yeah, knew I had it's probably a bit rich, but knew something wasn't quite right. And then, like I said, 3 of my other crewmates. And then the difficult decision came yesterday by the owner of the boat, Jim Cooney, to withdraw from the race.
Come on. He saw the forecast. Yeah, no, let's not do that.
I reckon
my heart goes out to him, the investment, the time. I mean,
agreed. Yep.
The team we put together and we had was just phenomenal, and it was a pleasure to sail with those guys. But the decision based around, okay, we start going down, a few other people contract it or get the symptoms later during the race, for example.
Yeah.
And then once you arrive in Tassie, part of the rules, if you do an antigen test, you get a positive, you have to isolate or quarantine for 14 days in Hobart at your expense.
Own cost. Yeah, no.
So that is a whole nother part of the Sydney to Hobart yacht race.
It's added a whole new element, hasn't it? But I've got to say one thing, Bicey. We're glass half full here, people at Barkarati. We're glass half full, right?
God.
This is the second attempt with the best crew that you could put together. You've done a shitload of training. Next year's looking great.
Yeah, I know. Next year's looking an absolute treat.
Hey, you don't have to do much training. You're all sorted.
Straight into it, you reckon? Yeah.
So, Jim, our heart does go out to you, and please don't lose faith. Take it on next year with the boys. I'm sure they were willing to put in the effort.
Yeah.
But obviously, you're obviously fully vaccinated, so the impact is pretty minor for you, I take it.
Yeah, pretty minor. Had a solid hit of what I'd call man flu.
Yeah.
On Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
For that
so
evening.
you were generally irritable and looking for a beer.
Well, that plus, it's one of the worst flus anyone could get.
Yeah,
man
right.
flu, that is.
Yeah.
But she's pretty much extinguished itself now. Did antigen tests this morning. I've still got it, believe it or not. So yeah, I've now allowed the body to give its own vaccination, I guess. So
well, this is a point.
Don't know about you blokes, but I'm pretty good.
Yeah, no, you're good. Don't need your booster. I did have a chat to one John Bacon about this exact point the other day before you got your dose of COVID, and he said that people who do have COVID after they've had the double vaccines are generally the highest immune rate. So there you go. That's what he's saying, and he knows. So
glass half full, I guess.
Glass half full.
Well,
rock and roll.
Speaking of glasses and half full, I did, when you sent us the message the other day, mate, I did set you a challenge. I told my home brew method is that if you get sick, rum, lots and lots and lots of rum.
Yeah.
And I said to Bicey, you're locked down, you can't go anywhere. Just order in a ton of run and see what sort of cocktail you can create, what you can come up with. Have you embraced any of that?
Well, not as yet, due to yesterday I tried having a few beers, lost my taste completely.
Oh.
So I was like, what am I even doing?
Yeah.
Ugh, beer sucks. Literally just speaking to New South Wales Health prior to the show.
And they said Mai Tais.
And I said, I basically asked the count back when I can go back to SA and all those sorts of things. And I said, yeah, where I'm staying, I can't quite see the bridge for the New Year's Eve fireworks. And she goes, well, just look up in the air, call your friend Dan Murphy's and he'll sort everything out for you.
For our international listeners, Dan Murphy's is a liquor store, which you can actually get delivered, by the way.
Yeah, so that's New South Wales Health advice you're receiving. So I guess you have to comply.
I said, can I have that in writing?
Oh, dear. Oh, that's
very
hilarious.
cool. Well, commiserations, Bicey, obviously. But look, mate, your health is the most important thing. And obviously the community as well. Here at Bar Karate, we make sure we do the right thing by all that. And I guess that was the reason for it. The Hobart organisers going through this. There was a lot of other people, let's say. It wasn't just this boat. There was a lot of people that got an infection. And I got a phone call on Christmas Eve, Nick Bice, from one Rob Kumine.
That's right.
To go sailing on.
Right. They lost one, and I said, "Oh, Rob, have I got the replacement for you?" Be very cool. Unfortunately, you'd probably seen the weather forecast by then.
I'd had a good look and look at I did think about it. I sort of sat down for about 34, maybe 35 seconds.
Yeah.
And I just no look. But to be honest, I was too busy. But anyway, thanks for the kind words.
Well, obviously, Boxing Day. It's the start of the Sydney Hobart. This episode is going to be a special. We're just going to talk about the Hobart, what we noticed from the start today, what to look for, and I think we sort of just agreed about 5 minutes ago to do some daily updates, just to keep everyone in the loop.
Because that's how we roll here. Yeah, we agreed about 5 minutes ago to do some daily updates, probably twice daily, depending on how we're feeling.
Twice daily. That's it.
And now that Bicey's in lockdown and doing nothing, we've got to sort of keep him occupied.
Yeah, that's it. It's great for you blokes that I'm the one that have to put everything together and put it up. So my day just got super full, but that's what I do.
Have a listen.
Why don't we do it live? We could do
Facebook,
YouTube as well.
Yeah.
I love the way we're making plans on.
So we'll do that. And then it's all right for you blokes because then I have to put all that stuff up.
I love it.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll just join in when you need me.
You write the script.
Yeah, all right. Okay, I'll get onto it.
Rightio.
Okay. Race
Okay.
start. Bang.
Sydney Hobart, major event starts in Sydney, sails down to Hobart, 628 nautical miles, been ongoing. If you haven't heard of it, then you're probably not a sailor, and you're not. Well, you've heard of it. You know you've heard of it. Just finish off Battery Point in Tasmania. So sail down south, turn the corner, and then up the Derwent and finish at Battery Point 628 miles later. Very big tradition, been going on for 70 plus years. And first yacht across the line wins the J.H. Illingworth Trophy, but the overall winner is the Tattersalls Cup. So the handicap, that's what we care about. So let's, first off, we've watched the start.
Mm-hmm.
General impressions.
Winners and losers.
Riveting.
So it's a sou'easter. We'll do a weather update in a minute, but that means they start downwind or reaching, and then come out the heads and go into the wind. So for the perspective of those who haven't seen it, they started downwind or sort of maybe 110 to 140 sort of angle. Okay.
Yeah. So my impressions, at the rate that the boats exited the harbour was impressive nonetheless. So for all the people on the harbour who thought they'd be there for an hour or so watching the boats leave, you got ripped off. Basically.
What, you had about
because everyone went,
back.
even for the mighty gun runner that I think was last out of the harbour.
Yeah.
No, I think my boat that you tipped me into was last out.
Oh, there you go. I was tipping. I had you down at Sportsbet too for last out.
That's why you put me on there, right?
Then I thought the winner, and we only got to see the top line on TV, for me was Stefan Hare.
Yeah, they had a good start, didn't they?
I think Warrow and Hazy and his team had a great start, and then it started getting a bit soft there. They couldn't really press on it.
Well,
my most impressive though, URM.
Oh,
They have taken yachting to the next level. Unfortunately, we're going to have to start after 8 p.m. next year, due to the language content.
My God.
Marcus Ashley Jones, you're too many beeps.
So this is funny because
We talked about this a second ago, Jordan.
Tom Slingsby, you might have heard of him, and we were having this little discussion at the Sail GP to some guests about a quiet boat is a fast boat. Yep. So URM are not a fast boat based on that theory.
Fever.
Fever.
Whizzer, let off the.
Get the headsel off.
Man, it was a messy.
Hey, can I just rewind 1 second, Bicey, just quickly? I went shopping this morning because I'm at a barbecue today, and I bumped into Warrow.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so I gave him some good advice, and obviously it paid off. Yeah. So there you go. Another reason to get involved with Barcarati.
They started in the perfect spot, actually.
Oh, that's where I said.
Stefan Hare, yeah, they started in the perfect spot. So if that's what you told them to do, BP, well done.
No, in all honesty, they sit in a good spot. They were looking good there for a while, weren't they? Just to hold out on starboard tack.
Holding others out, and then I think it got a bit wide for them with the zero on, and then the other boats just snuck away. But hats off to Whitty and SHK Scallywag out the heads first. I didn't have my money. I had my money on blackjack, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. They just got pinned. They just got a little bit of dirty air. That for Law Connect and blackjack, they didn't get clear run.
Correct. So, big ups to Whitty and his team, but then big downs when they blew out tack fitting or whatever they did from the J4. Yeah,
that we're just trying to work it out when you're on the phone to New South Wales Health. It's just we haven't heard officially, but the way they were dicking around there, the whole fitting must have come out. It wasn't just the purchase or the rope breaking. Like there was just the tack line, whatever. Because it's to be a halyard lock at the top of the mast and down to the purchase at the bottom in that fitting.
My gut feeling is the purchase broke.
Yeah,
because I saw the furler itself was flopping around in the breeze, and it didn't have a bit of deck stuck to it.
Yeah,
so that was my gut feel. And then I saw them dragging before the footage went out on Channel 7. Saw them dragging the sail back up there.
Yeah.
So whatever that means.
Yeah. Paul Tristan on the front there, getting hammered. He was just nearly engaged. He's all happy, and now he's stuck on the front of that.
I was just saying to my friends who were watching the race with me, we were having a barbecue, non-sailors, and I was trying to entertain them because it was just riveting, as I said at the start of this. And the crew work, and I'm saying how professional these guys are before the start. And, you'll see some pretty slick stuff, and I was quite embarrassed about a few things. But anyway, I sort of got through it, and then I was talking about the boys on the front of Scallywag when they were going through what they were going through. For people who have never done this race before, it's 3 days. It's only 3 days, but it's 3 days going south into some pretty yucky conditions. And the last thing you want to be doing in your first 30 minutes is being on the bow of a 100-footer underwater, and you aren't prepared. There's no way you've fully cocked. You're not sorted out. You're not got your gear 100% right. And they're just going to spend the next 3 days soaking wet. I feel for them.
Yeah. No.
Anyway,
well, good news is the trimmer, he was still in his t-shirt, still didn't have his jacket on yet, just getting soaking wet. So he's got bravo, Phil Harmer.
Yeah,
good on you, Phil Harmer.
On you, Wendy.
Wendy,
who's a great friend of the show. We get on great with Wendy. I just do want to say we have to bring it up. BP's alluded to it. That first turning mark. What a schmozzle. There was some of the worst spinnaker drops and takedowns and furls I've ever seen. I was thinking...
Well, put it this way, gents. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting on the couch here I'm the pitman on Willow, right? And the person I'm sitting on the couch with is the bowman. And we were calling this way too early. Get it off the lock. And Louis was literally yelling at me to get it off the lock.
And what were you doing? Were you looking around? Where's my wind channel? Here's the tack line.
It was embarrassing. Like the best way to describe it is the boats were set up for going straight down south, and they'd forgot they had to do a corner.
I'm going to add something to it, Jay. I'm sorry, mate. I'm going to add to it.
You've got to be careful because one day it'll be us.
I am going to add that there has been no real sailing going on. It's been a bit of sailing, but I just think that
you're right. There hasn't been enough competitive because it's race day fever. You can watch it.
I think that's what it is.
Start filling a few hundred square meters up. Yep. Only a couple of boat lengths from the mark.
No, it doesn't work.
630-mile lake.
Yeah. No. Race day fever is the best description. That's what it was. They were just getting too excited and amped up. They were doing a URM.
Oh.
Well, we've got 3 days, by the way, to come up with that what that actually means.
Yeah.
A URM. All right, let's work on that one. Very good. But hey,
I noticed our friend Matt Allen though just came. It's smoking. They went with a shoot.
Yep,
coming down the harbour and did the Mexican coming into the mark.
Nice
trying to sneak on the inside.
Yep,
that was an inch ornament over that one.
Yeah,
did see Quest there looking for a port starboard.
Yeah,
but we weren't there. So.
Anyway, so the start's underway, and they headed out into. Might as well do the weather a bit. I guess.
Talk about the weather because this is really important for our listeners to understand this race.
Yeah,
that's a really good thing to talk about.
So it's kind of, I'm going to say, it's going to be the hardest race in the world for navigators. I
agree with you. This one is a tough one.
The conditions are so changeable. It's a southeasterly. They're out to at the moment. They're going into a southeasterly. It's been running for a few days. There's a big ridge line running through it. There's potential after 2 days for a big hole to sail into, gigantic hole. There's one sitting off the top of Tasmania, but there's plenty of pressure in the next 24 hours coming out of the southeast. So they'll go into that, and then going into 48 hours, then there's a lot of light wind. The other thing that is really interesting is the currents that are floating out there. There is some monster eddies floating out off the coast there, just off Victoria. The East Coast current is just crazy just off Sydney. There's most of the current is heading north. There are a few southbound pathways, but if you can find them, you're a miracle worker. But
we just look for the turtles, right?
Yeah, Bossy, I did a screenshot for you, mate. It's on the.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that now. Shit, I'm glad, Nick, we're not going.
Yeah,
That's what I just said. and I keep saying it. We go back to the with the listeners who have never done this race before. The East Coast current is a massive north-south flowing current, but it actually does eddy all around the place. And the people who can read those eddies, whether it's because it's warm water that's flowing south, so the warmer the water, the faster the current. That's the general rule of thumb. But the key is to make sure you stay in that warm water. But there's a situation where sometimes you can get caught on the wrong side of it, and you can end up sailing yourself into a trap. And what ends up happening is sometimes this current can flow at 2+ knots. It can even flow to 3 to 4 knots. So you can gain massive advantages. But then there's the other side of it. It's huge. So
well, she's a messy one. Like there's eddies everywhere, and they're pretty powerful ones. And to pick your way through that minefield is going to be quite tough. And then, of course, 48 hours, the wind changes again. So it's really, really tough. Tough course to pick. The navigators are going to have a horrendously tough time. But the gist of it is, most of the time you're going into the wind and you're probably hitting some fairly lumpy seas. Not as bad as they could be, but in spots there'll be some pretty lumpy stuff. But yeah, most of the way it's just headwind the whole way.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the 48 hours, apart from a big light spot. Well, that transition of that light spot off kind of the southern New South Wales coast. If you're close inshore at say, midnight tonight.
Yeah.
But the next 48 hours is let's have a look. Oh, it's southerly. Oh, beauty.
Yeah, beauty. Beauty.
It's just southerly. Good Volvo 70 weather, mate.
Well, yes, it would be good Volvo 70. We probably would have won the race last year, potentially this year as well. So, anyway.
Oh, actually, do you want to go on to who's going to win the race? Is that where we go?
Yeah, why not?
I think
I want to hear what you've got.
All right, I'll give you a hypothetical.
Oh,
right, go on.
I was going to
Let's just
say
say-
hypothetical.
Let's just
say
you open your phone up today, you're a bit bored, and you see, oh, hang on, I've still got a sports bet account. That's awesome. Oh, hang on, my credit card still works on that. Let's top it up a bit. So you had a few bucks to spend. Let's say $50. And you're first out the heads, first across the line, first to win the Tattersalls. Where's your money sitting?
Okay.
Wow.
Who's going first? You going first, Jack?
For the Tattersalls. Well,
no. Start off with out of the heads. Who was your selection to get out of the heads first?
Well, it wouldn't have been Scallywag.
I don't think very many people won that.
I probably was leaning to Blackjack, but then the guys on Law Connect, I'm a big fan of a lot of the talent on that boat, so I would have been happy for them. So first out of the heads was one of those two.
I was Law Connect out of the heads, so there we go. I've lost my money.
Yeah. What was the next one?
Line honours.
Okay.
Line honours. I'm still on Blackjack.
I'm on Blackjack.
Yeah.
It
So
needs
I'm
to
Blackjack
lighten up
because
a
of
bit.
this reason. Because I'm just looking at the track at the moment. They're hanging in there. Scallywag's fallen off the pace a little bit at the moment. Obviously, still got some problems, but Blackjack are hanging in there. And this transition period down the coast, at the east coast of Tasmania, is going to be absolutely suited to that boat. Once Mark Bradford has spewed up everything that he's got left in his guts.
The other thing with Blackjack is that it doesn't mind the different. It can hang on in all weather conditions, sort of thing. It's a good all rounder shape and hull. I mean, they did suffer the other year where they picked the wrong direction and ended up they were fighting for the lead and then ended up coming fifth out of all the maxis. So I think that
was a spreader problem though.
Yeah, and that's hurt their betting odds. But yeah, that's sort of probably where we're at on that one. I would suggest.
Vicey, your thoughts?
Well, hypothetically, I lost $50 on the out the heads. I had
so you got no money left
on the Blackjack. Oh no, I got
you racked it all. You racked it all on the one bet.
No, I just put it on the never on the credit card. No, I'm Law Connect. I think they will extend
for line honours.
For line honours, I think they'll extend enough over the next 36 hours to hold off a fast finishing Blackjack.
Yeah, that's a good theory.
I like it. I like it. And I like the fact that you acknowledge it's a fast finishing Blackjack. So we're on the same page.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
as for the Tattersalls, looking at the weather, I'm thinking I probably don't have an exact name, but it's going to be a small boat. It's going to be less. It's
a double hander.
It's going to be sub 50 foot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because everyone's going upwind, then there's a massive transition, then everyone's coming home in the northerlies.
Okay.
So less time on the racetrack to your handicap, you reckon?
I reckon. So here's one theory. One of the older boats that are better at going upwind maybe than some of the newer boats, or hold on with a bit longer keels. So a boat like Maritimo, which was bought, it's got a great age allowance. It was bought and refurbished based around that. It likes smashing up into the wind. I think
plenty of experience aboard. Speezy, Husey,
yeah,
all the guys, yeah.
And they're in a bloody nice spot at the moment. If you have a look on the tracker,
yeah.
They're right up there.
Otherwise, you could throw the old boats out there. So let's just throw a couple of names out there that are way off base that, people, you'll probably laugh at me. Love and War.
No, I'm not going to laugh at you.
Sparksman and Stevens, 47.
I'm not going to laugh at you. Yeah. The only problem with Love and War, Jay, is when they get into that light down the bottom.
Yep.
She does not like anything under 10 knots, so I'm not going to put too much promise on that one.
She drags a lot of ocean. Okay, well, how about, while I'm at it, White Bay 6 Azuro?
Oh,
that's an SNS 34.
Well, is that the one that's fully done up?
Yes,
it looks an absolute treat.
Yeah, it's got a lovely paint job. Yeah.
And they dry sail it. It's a dry sailed SNS 34.
And
it's even got a van.
You'll remember this name, gents. Keith Flint.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Should have been knighted.
Flint.
It's got a certain ring to it.
Has got.
He explained to me that the best boat he has ever been to see in is an SNS 34. Wow. That's why everyone goes around the world in them. Right. So if it's going to be a Narmoth, which it is for the next little bit, they could pop out the other side in a very advantageous position.
Yeah. Won Division 2 in the Cabbage Tree Island race in 2020. 8th overall, won ORC. And that was the only small boat in amongst the TPs and the Maxis in that race. So it does have some ability. Obviously, if we come to the modern boats, you've got to put Ichiban there, the TPs, a few of the TPs, because they will scream home.
Yeah, and this is a good point. The TPs are always going to be there in any relative condition. One of the boats that actually does perform beautifully upwind, and it even looks like it's doing it right now, is Celestial. They're looking prime, but the other boat to watch out for in this stuff is Zen. Zen is a beautiful boat upwind. Now, if they can get some numbers upwind and then sail through the light transition well, which is always hard, then we could see them go okay. So we'll keep an eye on the TP52s will sort themselves out on the ladder, I think, pretty quickly.
Second overall at the Australian Yachting Champs.
Let's not forget Guilo as well.
Guilo, yep.
With a host of talent on board.
Yep.
But you're right, BP. There's literally
currently it's Celestial and Guilo in first and second. So
you can draw a line, an east-west line, and you've got, what am I looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 TPs with 6 TPs within a couple of miles of that line.
Okay.
So
but I'm agreeing with you, Bicey. I think it's going to come.
I'm throwing another.
It's going to come from mid-fleet.
Okay. I'm throwing another.
Possibly the DK46.
Okay. What about Whisper?
No.
Bit too big.
Too big. And
too big.
I was early thinking Alive as well.
Yep.
They're going to be there. They're going to be there.
Bit of time for the Whisper and the Money Penny. Based on, no stone unturned type approach.
Yep.
I just don't think the weather will play into their hands.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was on with the Live earlier, but looking at that sort of period down the coast of Tasmania, I think Alive's going to struggle.
Okay.
I think all the big boats are going to struggle. As you said, Bicey, it's not the performance, it's the pressure.
How about Highly Sprung?
Oh, the old Highly Sprung. Where is she?
Highly Sprung is a Beneteau First 45. owned by Mark Spring, highly sprung. So he was rookie ocean racer of the year in 2020. Won the IRC.
Perfect race for that sort of boat.
Yeah. Second over the line, the Pittwater Paradise race. Second place in the Blue Water Point Score 2019 in his first year. So could be, the Beneteaus are pretty good all-round boats, and the first rate, they rate pretty well too, don't they?
The Beneteaus do, absolutely. But I've got one last one for you.
Yeah,
we're confusing our listeners. But
we just have to roll the dice once we've heard it. Keep going.
Yeah.
MRV.
MRV.
The last of the Margaret Rintals.
Oh.
Owned by good friend of the show, Damien King.
Very good. Love it.
I love it indeed. This is the sort of stuff we like. So MRV, let's
got the ball on board, Mark Turnbull.
It's a of
Is
course,
he on board?
yeah, and it was
Yeah.
yeah. It looked good going out too. I thought, that'd be all right going south in. It'd be pretty comfortable.
I think they were probably. I'm not sure what glasses they're drinking the red wine out of tonight, but
I'll tell you who's made the good decision. I'll tell you, young Stacey Jackson. She's made a good decision. Hey, on the Oraton, on the mighty Drumfire. That's not out there either. That boat.
No, you're right. That could bring something home.
But the MRV Margaret Rintoul 5, there's some pretty bloody good sailors on that boat.
Yeah, we got other mates of the show, MJ, Grant Allen,
MJ,
Lockie Dare,
Damien
Matt
King.
Mullins. Yep, Damien King, of course.
Yeah. So that's a good one. I like that one a lot, actually. It's a 61-footer, isn't it?
Frez 61.
Yeah.
Right. I've got some news Straight in. As it stands. This is right now live, and this is going to be obviously not live by the time you listen to this, listeners. But on IRC at the moment, fully crewed, Law Connect is leading the way. Guess who's in second?
Margaret Rintoul 5.
Highly sprung. And I mentioned it, Khaleesi in third, the DK46.
Yeah.
There you go. We're all over it, aren't we?
Yeah.
Hey?
Like fat kids on the chocolate cake.
There's only one more that we shouldn't forget, and that's Midnight Rambler, Ed Saltis.
In fifth.
Yeah.
And sitting in fourth is a LCE old school racing.
Well, now, okay, so out of that, who's going to be the boat that gets it?
Good question.
I think it's just way too early to tell. I mean, I'm going to wait and see what happens after the first 24 hours, because the first 24 hours in this particular race is going to position people for the entry into that next zone.
Okay.
I think something's really important to explain to people who've never done this race before. You've really got to separate this race up into sort of, even 4 or 5, and this race in particular, possibly more, little windows. We call them windows. And the first part obviously is the Out of the Heads, and then you've got down to Eden, and then you've got across Bass Strait, then you've got to Tasman, and then you've got Storm Bay, and then you've got the river. So it really comes down to where they are in the first 24 hours is to see who's in the position to pounce and where they are on the course. So that's I'll wait. I'll firm up tomorrow.
All right. What will be the decisive moment for the race, do you reckon?
Entry into the transition, entry into the light air.
Okay. Ice, you got any different views?
Not. I think missing this little ridge that's sitting off the New South Wales coast by just being in the right position there. Yeah,
which is incredibly difficult. I mean, adding to that current, because that current, my God.
My gut is I'd swing wide. There's a potential you can avoid any northerly current flow. There's a little channel out there, and also you can step outside that ridgeline and sail around it.
Which you're also going to give you the southeasterlies a bit more.
Straight on the nose, smashing straight into it.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Hey,
double hander.
Oh, you got me.
Who's gonna win the double handers, BP?
Well, I'm just looking at the moment, so let's have a quick.
I'll
look.
throw my ideas out. I've got two ideas.
Yep.
I'm not sure I'm right. I'm gonna say Disco Trooper Contender Sailcloth.
Good looking boats.
J99.
Those 99s, yeah.
The reason I think
they're all right.
the reason I think is that whilst I know they sail other things, but for the purposes of this joke, they're two laser sailors.
Yep, perfect solo.
Yeah, they don't need to. They don't have to put kites up at all, given the weather.
In this race, you're right. They don't have to talk to each other.
It's just like perfect. So they'll just be hiking like mofos off the side of their boat, just hand steering all the way down. And not having to worry about trying to set a spinnaker or even know what a spinnaker is. So it's perfect.
Yes.
I think Rupert Henry and his boat in the double handers from a line honours point of view.
Eora?
There's no question on that. If it makes it through the first night, let's see how they go.
BP hates the Scows.
I don't hate them. I did not say that. I
sorry.
just want to just make sure that they're an animal unto themselves. So we just got to make sure that
I can't believe you didn't make the X-Tour Scout.
Okay, so just on the Aura, that's the Mark Lombard design. It's a Class 40, for those of you who know what those are. So pretty good, and those guys are pretty good on. They won the Melbourne Osaka on the double-handed a few years ago, I think.
in Whisper, yeah.
In Whisper, yeah.
Chinese Whisper, it was then.
Yeah.
A damn fine effort.
Yeah, I think they've won the Blue Water point score for the double handers as well, and some offshore series as well. So
shortened series.
Yeah.
So just to give you a quick update at the moment, obviously only just started into the race. Speedwell, which is the Beneteau.
Oh, that's a male-female combination.
Holland Greaves with Wendy Tuck, who is a round the world Clipper winner. They're currently leading the IRC shorthanded with Crux in second, Eora third, Disco Trooper sitting in fourth, and then obviously we go back down the fleet. But look, the fleet is close. I mean, this is going to be a really cool, even though they can't win the Tattersalls Cup. This is going to be a really cool fleet to watch.
They win the Baccarati Cup.
Well, they'll win the Baccarati Cup. That's what we'll do.
Yeah. I think that's what they win. So
Good idea.
She's a Beneteau first 34.7 or something in the lead, isn't it? It's
correct.
Yeah. Again, it rates well. Wendy on the helm at the start, saw all that. So she got a little bit of coverage on the local TV. So that was good. Yeah.
Which I might add, there was not a bad coverage. A few other boats in this race this year, not just the first three. So that was good.
You know why that was, BP?
Because
they'd already sailed out of camera range, so they had to go back and look for some other boats.
Was that what it was? I thought it was because Wild Oats weren't in it.
Yeah, good point.
I had a thing come up on Facebook the other day saying, "Oh, this year it's not going to be the Wild Oats show." I said, "Oh, there's only three boats in this race anyway this year." So.
Yeah.
But no, they did well. It was good.
Yeah. So for us, obviously, as sailors, for me, the line honours really doesn't matter to me. It's nice for the media, but it's the Tattersalls Cup that we all focus on because that's the overall winner of the race, obviously. So that's what we're interested in.
All right.
With Blackjack, of course, it's got a new mast. Do you know where it got its mast from? Because it broke it in the Brisbane to Gladstone at the start of the year.
Just Southern trick.
It's a Southern trick?
Yeah.
Of course it is. Of course it is. I don't even know why I didn't even think of that because, that's a full North Sails program, that boat, isn't it?
Correcto.
Formed Prentice, trim and main.
As I said, I did just send a message to Squarky this morning. I was doing my usual Boxing Day thing, going to the gym, and I sent a message to Squarky and said, "You're all over this, mate. Good luck. Have a good time." Sent an emoji back with the spewing emoji. So,
speaking of Southerns, Herbert's your second dad. Why haven't we had him on the show?
Oh, Herbert's keen. He's actually up at the batch at the moment. So he's looking for within the first. Spoke to him the other week. Admittedly, he'd been to lunch. I'd been to lunch. We had to call up the next day to see what we spoke about. But we'll be getting him on early 2022.
Really looking forward to that. So he's up the batch with the chili bun and some Rudd Delicious, I assume.
Yeah, choice.
Okay, I've just
Cuzzy, bro.
while we've been chatting, lads, I've just jumped onto the odds for the that are on which betting site? Oh, TAB, the TAB, so the government side. So it's got Itchy Barn at $3.50.
Yeah.
White Bay is $0 at $5.50.
Interesting.
Euro M, I reckon that's at sevens at the moment. That might blow out a bit given.
After their crew work.
Yeah, Guilio in at 8, Alive at 9, Highly Sprung at 10.
You're all over it.
Whisper at 13, Quest, Zen, Hutzpah. We'd never mentioned Hutzpah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one, BP. I don't think so. But it's got Stringers on board in Taylor from Ronston, a good mate of mine. So always happy for him to do well. Stefan Racing in at 21s, Sun Hung Kai Scallywag at 21s, Money Penny at 21s, and Law Connect at 21. So, and the Maritimo at 26. So maybe ignore what I said about Maritimo.
No, these are the same odds as when the race started. So
yeah,
I'm not sure if there's any updates.
No, I think
whether you can still get on or not.
No, I don't think you can.
I think it's shut down, but
Yeah.
it's all close because Khaleesi's jumped up to second.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. Okay.
Highly Sprung, dropped to fourth.
Oh, jeez, I'm a failure.
And they're coming round the backstretch with 600 miles to go. It's Highly Strung.
All right. What else do we want to touch on? Anything else that we want to bring up?
No, I think we keep it all Hobart, and I think we.
No.
Are we going to try and do a couple a day?
Yep, but no. Anything more Hobart related right now, BP? Before we go on to a couple of we got keeping it hot with Bicey. I'll just keep changing that title every time.
Well, he's not so hot at the moment.
No. Hot topics with Bicey. Right.
Let's just stay Hobart orientated, and we just make it up as we go along.
Okay. Keep the vibe of the show rolling.
Keep the vibe of the show rolling.
Right.
I think that I'm really excited to see what happens overnight, and that's where I'm at. Really.
Okay. Cool.
Let's do a morning one tomorrow.
Oh no, we'll do that. We'll do that. We're going to do updates all through, but we do have some other stuff to go on to, so we'll just roll into. I might hit get my funky fat bass out, BP, and roll into it. You all right to go?
Yeah, go on.
It's the only bass line I can play. Boys, club events. Gee, we've got some cheek coming in, I tell you. Have you guys across the Vanguard World Champs? Did you guys see that?
No. Do tell, my friend.
Are we in the emails or in Messenger?
It came over the Messenger. If you read the run sheet there,
the back office. I don't have it. The back office haven't sent me anything.
So we're talking club events. The Noosa Club sent us up. They want to have a little bit of banter with us and come in, and they sent a note during the week advising us that the Vanguard World Championships have been run and done at their club that week. And for those who don't know, if you visualise a bathtub and then a tiny sail, it's basically a training boat. It's a big, heavy fiberglass training boat. There's all sorts of versions of it around the world, but I didn't think it was an internationally recognised class. So I did write back to our correspondent and ask, is that actually a recognised World Championships entries from all over the world, perhaps? And the response, Noosa is a world of its own. We have
sometimes gets graced with the presence of the one great Jordan Spencer.
I take some beers up to it.
Found the run sheet, Jordan.
Yeah, good man. We have some South Africans. We've got some Kiwis. We've got some English, Australian, German, South Americans, even some guys from the North Pole. And
North Pole.
And of course,
Eskimos.
our mate Valerie Odu, who is French. So as soon as I saw it was him, I thought, oh yeah, the French, how the French are, and he's been taking a whipping with all the banter we've made about the French over the last few months. So he just
do these people all live in Noosa?
Oh yes. Have you guys been to Noosa? For those who don't know Noosa, how can I describe Noosa? You'll never see a woman not wearing white linen. It's mandatory. It is illegal not to wear anything but white linen. It's a beachy town
with
but
hats,
it's super
like with big
upper.
broad brim hats, or
Broad brims. Yeah, but
Straw
nothing.
hats.
Wear it once and throw it away. It is a very glamour spot. Like it's where all the really beautiful people go. That's the best way to describe it, except for the yacht club there.
I drove through Noosa once.
No. I'll just say that the guys at the Noosa Yacht Club there, they'll be downstairs. They do a lot of training, do a lot of development for youngsters, and they've got this little training group, and they all sit down. They've got all beer fridges full up. It's quite fun. You go down, pull a chair up and sit down and have a chat with the blokes. So whilst I'm paying out Noosa, it's not like that at all at the club, and the boys would be killing me if I actually did genuinely leave it that way. So, But good on them for promoting the world champs. Didn't actually tell me who won, so I don't know who won.
Everyone won.
Yeah, everyone's a winner.
Sailing's the winner.
That's it.
Move on.
Okay.
Move on.
Jack Lloyd, listener of the week.
Jack Lloyd, listener of the week. Now, gents, haven't run this one by you yet, but
that's a bit unusual.
If we remember last week, we had a 3-way tie.
We
all voted
controversy
for 1-1.
though.
There was controversy.
Was there?
That was between
Australia
Post, Scott Patton, and
Rob Kumon.
Rob, correct. So this week, Scott has taken the sensible approach. He was still dark and narky about not winning the listener of the week.
I love it.
We're going to give it to Scott this week.
Are we?
My gut feel.
Well,
this is what he came to us with. Yeah. So reading direct from it. Boys, whatever happened, whatever the opinion of Larry Ellison, we should all stand up and applaud the man for what he is creating with the Sail GP. The product is fantastic and is clearly the best sailing venue to date.
Viewing.
That being Sydney. Viewing. Safety of the sailors must now be a priority, however, and the Halo idea is a good start.
Agreed.
So he's taken this sensible approach this week to try and win listener of the week.
Try and win. It hasn't been done yet. I might.
No. So I'm putting one vote in. For
one vote
Scott
in, right?
This
well,
week.
look, let's just go on. Thanks for
anything
I'll just
different?
go on to the next part of the. Thanks for the Jack Lloyd listener of the week mention. He says last week, I'm filthy. It was a 3-way tie.
Yep.
For a moment, I thought slingers might even talk to me on the dock if I won it.
I'll just point out that I did vote for you, bud. It was not me; it was the other two idiots. So that set you down. But
well, I just had to vote for Australia Post. I think they deserve everything they get.
Yeah.
So are we going to do this? Are we going to give it to? Are we going to give
Scott,
it to?
Yeah, may or may not receive a message.
Actually,
righto, Scott, you win.
We may have, Bossy, because you're stuck away from your house. There has been some correspondence that I believe has turned up to your house that could be extra special. Maybe that will be a feature for our listener of the week. We have had
I saw that.
Yes.
I should make it back by about the 18th of January. So
yes, just make sure your wife doesn't share with her family. But yeah, we'll bring that one up. But we've got some good friends over in the States, listeners. The States listeners, I've got to say, there's a few of you blokes that are just into this, and you know who you are. And thanks for all the Christmas wishes and all that stuff. We got inundated. Our mate Schaefer, he loves us. Our mate Sean from Plankona Brewery Group, I think we're a big fan of you. And we got to get him his double extra large shirt. Maybe that's where all our shirts went by. So all the double extra, triple extra large shirts are going to the States.
I'll leave that there right now. But basically everyone from the mighty US of A, give yourselves a high five.
Yeah. Yeah,
While we're on the US of A, just quickly, this is a bit left field. You guys don't know about this either. I just want to quickly touch base on flotilla.com, who are doing an Aussie week. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
Flotilla.com. Now, that's
How do you spell it?
PHLOTILLA. Flotilla.com. It's they're doing an Aussie week, so
So
get on that site.
they've done an Aussie week. They did a feature of us, and I got to admit, guys, nice little circle jerk for the bar karate.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Yeah.
Nice work. Got a lovely bit of write-ups there, and they're doing some stuff for Australia. It's an American-based website. We'll talk more about that in the future as we get more into it. But yeah, it's cool. I like it.
Okay. All right. What do we do now?
It's hot time with Bice.
You're right, mate.
Well, I was meant to be about 30 miles south of Sydney Heads right now, so I thought, stuff it. I'm not doing hot time with the Bice this week.
Okay. All right. Okay.
There's a bit going on.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Leave it as it is.
No.
Good session. Are we going to do it?
Yeah, no, I've got a couple of points to bring up.
Oh, Jordan's going to do it.
Yeah. So first off, boys, I discovered this week, and I'm just trying to find the information on it. There has been a wing dinging regatta in the Caribbean. 3-day wing dinging regatta in the Caribbean. I'm literally trying to find that as we speak, information about it. But just from the perspective of aspirational events, I've got my wing ding gear turned up this week.
I did see that.
Yes.
Yes. Have
Love
you had it out yet?
I've had the wing out in the backyard trying to fly it, and I'm thinking it's going to be harder than I thought. It was coming. The wind was coming over the house, so it wasn't the most favourable setup. So starts tomorrow. All the social obligations done, and the wing ding program build up to the Caribbean.
Wing ding.
Your campaign building up to the Caribbean wing ding competition starts tomorrow.
That's it.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm liking that. Well, what? Yep. Okay. Good.
'Cause you blokes are going the VX1, so I haven't come up with a name for the wing ding, but
Yeah.
we'll work on it. You remember a few weeks ago I mentioned that the 5-0s are doing their 12 days of Christmas, where you get to there's 12 photos on the front. If you go to the International 5-0 site, they started Christmas Day, and they've started publishing photos, so you get to choose one of these 12 photos. What?
You know, I'm laughing already.
They haven't given you admin rights, have they?
Every photo's got you in it.
Yeah.
Could be on a boat, could be on the start boat, could be in the background waving.
This is when we got third on handicap at Brighton Seacliff Yacht Club 1987.
Photo bombing the presentation of the world in 2001.
You idiots.
Me.
No,
getting
I've never sailed a 5-0 in my life. All right, but anyway, they're doing that. If we can, we're going. If we remember, we'll go and pull some of the photos down and publish them, and you can have a look. But they're definitely it's up and have a look. And if you like dinghy sailing, then it's worth a look. And if you put a vote in, your vote might be picked for the cover of this book they're launching in August.
Wink, wink, nudge, right?
Nudge. Yeah. The next question is, and the last question I have is our plans for next year. And I'm just talking sailing. What's going on? Any plans? What are you doing, BP?
I'd like to think that I'm coming to do the Adelaide Lincoln on a X2.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a great one.
I'm going to aim for that.
Aren't you launching? Are you launching Omicron, the VX1?
That'll happen, but that'll be later in the year.
Later in the year. So Adelaide Lincoln on an X2. I must admit,
an X2 will be doing the Adelaide Lincoln. That's my
hope.
goal.
As in less than 2 months' time.
Yep, that's right.
Is that as soon as we go? Oh, fantastic.
Wow.
That's the goal. That is the goal, boys.
Wow.
I'm working my butt off to make that happen. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not much of a butt to work off there, BP.
No, it's pretty fit at the moment. I'm in the gym smashing it out.
Oh, good man. That's exciting, because I must admit I was watching the boats go out the heads and I'm going, wonder what the X2 would be doing right now. How'd it be going?
Well, I actually did sit there and watch it, and I got a bit of a warm fuzzy, and so I'm looking forward to next year. 2022 is exciting for double handers in general. So I'm really, really looking forward to the whole season.
Yeah, there's 3 twos in that year, 2022. So
X2, there's 4.
4, yeah, of course. All right, Bryce, so what about you, mate?
It'll be a bit of a
Willow.
I'm going to do the Sydney Hobart on Willow. TP 52, of course, another hooligan. Got a nice little campaign going there in Adelaide with our good friends on SMB.
Yep.
Of which we both want to see the 2 TPs up in Queensland.
Excellent.
Before the end of the year. In the meantime, will be the X2, the Delta variant.
The VX.
VX1.
Sorry, X2. What?
Are you buying one? Awesome. Love it. I'll do you a deal. Don't worry.
Sorry.
You'll get it quite cheap.
The VX1, the Delta variant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be camping that hard with a couple of regattas quite slowly in the first half of the year, then start ramping it up the second half of the year with the idea coming to the midwinters.
Yes.
To pick up a new boat.
Where are they?
They would be at Royal Queensland, I believe.
Yep.
Then that rolls into a Nationals campaign early 2023. In the meantime, we'll still give trying to get hold of an Etchell to finish off our state championship campaign.
Right. Okay.
So
important to note, just for everyone out there, the VX1's obviously the name of your VX1 is Delta variant.
Yep.
Correct.
Which is everyone will catch it sooner or later.
Yeah.
Correct.
I'm looking at trying to get into the VX later in the season, so it'll be sort of Omicron. Nothing really to worry about.
Yeah.
So if we've got that straight, we'll be all good.
All right. Well, so
how about yourself?
Me, what have we got?
Wing dinger.
Wing dinger later in the year. So what's the program for me is I'm doing the commentary for the VX1 Nationals coming up. That'll be live. We'll be doing a live stream of the VX1 Nationals.
Nice.
Then I'll likely be doing the commentary for the Brisbane to Gladstone. I'm doing tactics on a big cat on a regatta coming up in March, and then I'm doing 5-0s. I'm going to Ireland to do all the media for them, and then the wingdings in the Caribbean. This is the latest fantasy right now.
I like what's going on. We've got a bit of sailing going on between the three of us.
Yeah, I'm not doing much sailing. I'm talking about it, but that's
that's what you're good at.
I used to be good at sailing.
Well, you've got to be good at something to be good at something else, right?
Okay.
All right, lads.
I think that's us, isn't it?
It is, gentlemen.
Beauty.
All right,
we'll be chatting to you in about 16 hours.
Yeah, let's do a couple a day.
I'm so tired. All right, we'll work it out.
Get this up online. Good on you.
All right. Okay, I hope everyone enjoyed that one. It's a bit like the original series is what we used to do, where we just talked amongst ourselves. We may have, I think we can publish this. We may have a big surprise during the week in terms of guests.
Oh, will we?
Yeah, we've got a few big surprises coming up. So yeah,
well done.
Cool. All right, team.
Righto.
BP fire up.
Boys.
I'm on the
Stay
back
well,
end.
Bitey.
Stay well, Bison. Cheers.
Will do.
Nothing in front but a picture black and night. All my stars are